Hi friends, welcome back to Global Hub TV. As you all know, Sowore has been in detention for 45 days. Actually, the DSS that abducted him in the middle of the night wanted him to be there for 90 days while they cook up charges against him. And eventually they brought up some charges based on some ridiculous allegations. They said he abused, insulted the president. I have never heard this before. I've never heard anyone arrested because they said something against their president, unless a dictator. And that is what we are actually seeing right now in Nigeria. And aside that, they claim that he used his Sahara Reporters platform to insult the president. And they claim that he planned a revolution and wanted to oust a democratically elected president. And many other charges that are not, that are so terrible. They are so shameful, I mean. Anyway, Sowore presently, as at today, 24th 9th 2019, is going to be released on bail on certain terms and conditions. And one of them is that his passport will be held. Details have emerged as to the real reason Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the release of pro-democracy campaigner and convener of the revolutionary movement, Omoyele Sowore, on Tuesday, and that is today, 24th 9th 2019. During the court session, prosecution counsel GAO Agbadua argued that the charge against the Sahara Reporters publisher is a capital offense, punishable by death, and granting bail to such person is done under exceptional circumstances. Of course, those are the lawyers representing Buhari and his goons. And he claimed that it is a capital offense. That's what they call treasonable felony, right? And that they shouldn't grant him bail and he should be killed instead. That is it. But counsel to Sowore, Femi Falana, SAN, objected to the submission of the prosecution, asking the court to discountenance the argument. And of course, he said it initially that he's going to bring Buhari as the major witness if he's to call up anybody, because Buhari did the same during his own time. In fact, he said words that were even harsh compared to what Sowore even uttered. So he went further to say the applicant was misleading the court for saying that the offense filed against the respondent was a capital offense. However, in his ruling, Justice Taiwo said the respondent Sowore ought to have been released since there was no existing order of the court for his continued detention. The judge said, "It is to this end that I am of the view that the respondent Sowore ought to be released forthwith in view of the fact that there is no extant order of this court for his continued detention. However, in view of information filed in the registry of this court," he said, "I am of the opinion that the release forthwith of the respondent must be on terms." And one of them is, like I said, that his passport has to be kept. Justice Taiwo held that the court can make use of any document before, especially if the document forms part of the record of the court. He explained that the order of the court had not been renewed and cannot be renewed in view of the motion ex parte stated earlier. He pointed out that liberty of Nigerians, both poor and rich, were guaranteed under the Constitution, and the court must be seen to be upholding the rule of law as entrenched by the law. Now, it's not the first time that the court will grant someone bail while the federal government will disobey the ruling of the court, just like they did in the case of El Zakzaki. We will see what's going to turn out. We'll see what's going to play out later. Sowore may not be allowed to get out of court. As you know, that is what they do in Nigeria. And Justice Taiwo may begin to face some other issues. Probably the government may begin to search into his bank details, just like how they did before. They actually want to check the accounts of all the Supreme Court judges. Why? Because Atiku wants to take his case. He said he won the election, wants to take the case down to the Supreme Court. So the federal government started checking the account balances and also asked for the account statement of the judges so that they can look for something or kind of shake the system a little bit so that they will be afraid and they will rule in favor of the president. The president is trying to make sure that the international body and some other people see him as a democratically elected and someone that is moving and working in line with the rule of law and democracy. So he's also a little bit careful. But in this case of Sowore, I don't know what's going to happen here. They might decide to disobey the court ruling, which I believe they should not, because right now Nigerians are not smiling at all. So it went further to say it is also not in doubt that this court of justice must be seen to be upholding the law, the rule of law and constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, both in criminal and civil cases. The liberty of Nigerians, poor or rich, is guaranteed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I therefore order the respondent, Sowore, to be released forthwith, but he must deposit his international passport with the chief registrar of this court within 48 hours of this order. Furthermore, the respondent shall be released to Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, forthwith by the applicant, that is State Security Service. Femi Falana shall ensure that the respondent is produced for formal arraignment whenever the respondent is notified. This is my ruling, and that is what Justice Taiwo delivered. So what's your take about this? Let us be at the comment section below, and may I remind you once again to kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red notification icon bell. It's very important so that you will be notified whenever new videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.